Once upon a time, a donkey worked for a gardener. This donkey was not just any ordinary donkey. He was strong and reliable, always ready to help the gardener with his daily tasks. Every day he carried heavy baskets of vegetables from the garden to the market. The path was long and winding, but the donkey never complained. He knew his work was important for the gardener's livelihood. The work was hard, but the gardener was kind and the donkey had plenty of food and rest. The garden was a peaceful place filled with the scent of blooming flowers and the sound of chirping birds. One day the donkey saw a horse pulling a cart. The horse seemed to move effortlessly, its load appearing much lighter than the baskets the donkey carried. "How easy his job is," thought the donkey. The horse looked so elegant and composed, trotting along the road without a care in the world. All he does is walk along while I carry these heavy loads. The donkey felt a pang of envy, wishing he could trade places with the horse. The donkey decided he wanted to be like the horse. He imagined a life where he didn't have to carry such heavy burdens every day. He told the gardener, "I want an easier life." The gardener was surprised by the donkey's sudden outburst. The gardener tried to explain that every job has its challenges, but the donkey refused to listen. He was convinced that the horse had a much better life. He was determined to change his life. The donkey's mind was made up, and he was ready to take on whatever came next, hoping it would lead to the easier life he dreamed of. The gardener, seeing the donkey's stubbornness and dissatisfaction with his current job, decided to help him find a new occupation. He thought a change of scenery might do the donkey some good. So he introduced the donkey to a potter who was in need of some assistance. The donkey was excited at the prospect of a new job and eagerly accepted the offer. No more heavy baskets filled with vegetables and fruits, he thought. This new job seemed like a dream come true. But soon the donkey realized that the potter's work was different, not necessarily easier. The tasks were unfamiliar and required a different kind of effort. He had to walk in circles all day long, turning a heavy wheel to help the potter shape the clay. The repetitive motion was tiring and monotonous. The dust from the clay filled his nostrils and made him cough incessantly. The air was thick with particles, making it hard to breathe. "This is even worse than gardening!" cried the donkey in frustration. He missed the fresh air and the greenery of the garden. Unable to bear it any longer, he ran away from the potter's place and wandered until he found himself at a tanner's yard. The tanner, noticing the donkey's strength and need for work, hired him to carry wet hides. The donkey soon discovered that the smell was awful and almost unbearable. The hides were not only heavy, but also slimy and difficult to manage. The donkey found himself in yet another challenging situation, longing for a job that would bring him peace and satisfaction. Exhausted and miserable, the donkey collapsed on the ground. "What have I done?" he moaned. "I had a good life with the gardener, but I was too foolish to see it." The donkey learned a valuable lesson that day. The grass always seems greener on the other side, but every job has its difficulties. We must learn to appreciate what we have and not be fooled by appearances. It is easy to look at others and envy their lives, but we often do not see the challenges they face. Section 4. Finding your field advice for the dissatisfied worker. If you find yourself feeling like the donkey, unhappy with your work, don't despair. It's a common feeling, and there are steps you can take to improve your situation. First, try to identify what exactly is making you unhappy. Is it the nature of the work itself, the tasks you are assigned, or perhaps the lack of growth opportunities? Is it the work itself, your co-workers, or your work environment? Sometimes, interpersonal relationships or a toxic work culture can be the root cause of dissatisfaction. Once you know the root of the problem, you can start to address it. Talk to your supervisor. Open communication can often lead to solutions you hadn't considered. Maybe there is a way to adjust your responsibilities or improve your work environment. Small changes can sometimes make a big difference in your overall job satisfaction. If that doesn't work, consider looking for a new job. It might be time to explore other opportunities that align better with your skills and passions. But remember the donkey's lesson. Research different careers carefully. Don't rush into a new field without understanding what it entails. Talk to people in those fields. Networking can provide valuable insights and help you make informed decisions. Make sure you understand the challenges before you make a change. A well-thought-out plan can lead to a more fulfilling career path. Section 5. Seeds of change blooming where you are planted. The most important thing is to remember that you have the power to change your situation. It might take time and effort, but you can find a job that brings you satisfaction. In the meantime, focus on the positive aspects of your current job. Appreciate the good things in your life and remember that even the darkest of times will eventually pass. Just like a tiny seed can push through the hardest ground, you too can overcome challenges and blossom into your full potential.